You're asleep, not just resting, completely unconscious. You can't move, you can't fight back. You won't even sense danger until it's already too late. Now change just one detail. You're not in your bedroom anymore. You're inside a thin tent, a single layer of fabric between you and the wild. And beyond those walls, lions, bears, wolves, leopards, predators powerful enough to kill you in seconds. They can smell you from incredible distances. They can hear every breath you take. They can see perfectly in complete darkness while you can't see anything at all. By every logical measure, you should be the easiest target in the forest. And yet morning comes. You wake up. Again. Why? That question sounds simple. But the answer reveals something most people never think about: an invisible relationship between humans and predators, one that existed long before cities, long before farming, long before civilization itself. And to understand it, we need to start with one fact that most people get completely wrong. Humans are terrifying. Not because we're the biggest, not because we're the fastest, and definitely not because we're the strongest. If you looked at us like any other animal, we'd seem pretty unimpressive. No claws, no fangs, can't outrun most predators. Terrible night vision. On paper, we shouldn't be intimidating at all. But reality tells a completely different story. In 2019, researchers from UC Santa Cruz ran an unusual experiment. They placed speakers in the Santa Cruz Mountains and played recordings of ordinary human conversations near mountain lions. No weapons, no shouting, no threats, just normal people talking. The results surprised even the scientists. The mountain lions immediately fled the area. They ran from the sound of human voices just as fast as they ran from barking dogs, sometimes faster. Think about what that actually means. These are animals capable of taking down full-grown deer with ease, strong enough to drag heavy prey up steep hillsides. Yet the sound of an ordinary conversation was enough to make them abandon the area entirely. But here's what made it even more remarkable. Many of them didn't just leave. They abandoned fresh kills, food they had already worked hard to catch, meals they were actively eating. They walked away from calories they desperately needed simply because humans were nearby. And this wasn't an isolated case. Biologists have observed the same pattern everywhere. Lions reduce activity in areas with frequent human presence. Tigers avoid villages even when those villages sit inside prime hunting territory. Jaguars consistently reroute their movements to stay away from people. These animals are fully capable of attacking humans. They simply choose not to. But why? The answer goes much deeper than simple fear. For nearly 2 million years, humans haven't just lived alongside large predators. We've hunted them. We drove mammoths to extinction. Giant sloths disappeared after humans arrived. Woolly rhinos, saber-toothed cats, cave bears, animals that survived ice ages lasting thousands of years, vanished not long after humans entered their territory. Predators learned a lesson that got written into their DNA. Humans were dangerous. In North America alone, wolves were hunted to near extinction across huge portions of the continent. Mountain lions were eliminated from the entire eastern half. For generations, humans trapped them, poisoned them, and hunted them without mercy. And natural selection did the rest. The predators that boldly approached humans didn't survive long enough to pass on their genes. The ones that stayed away did. Generation after generation, caution became survival. Eventually, it stopped being a learned behavior. It became instinct. So today, when a leopard catches your scent in the darkness, it isn't consciously remembering human history. Instead, something much older activates deep inside its nervous system. Stay away, don't risk it, move on. That's not a thought. That's millions of years of survival compressed into a single biological signal. Predators carry a memory of us, one written not in their minds but in their genes. And that memory still controls their decisions today. But that's only part of the story. Think about something you've probably never considered: your smell. To you, you smell completely normal. You're surrounded by other humans every day, so your brain barely registers your own scent. Predators experience something entirely different. Many of them have a sense of smell, dozens, hundreds, sometimes thousands of times more powerful than ours. Bears can detect scents from astonishing distances. Wolves can pick up odors from miles away under the right conditions. Big cats even possess a specialized organ that allows them to analyze chemical signals in extraordinary detail. So when a predator approaches your campsite at night, it isn't just smelling a human. It's receiving an overwhelming flood of information: soap, shampoo, sunscreen, laundry detergent, synthetic fabric, plastic, cooked food, insect repellent, fuel, dozens of chemical signals that simply don't exist anywhere in nature. Beneath all of that is the scent of a primate. But even that isn't enough to trigger a hunting response, because predators don't attack everything they encounter. Their instincts are highly specialized. A wolf has spent millions of years learning to recognize the movement, scent, and behavior of hoofed animals. A lion's entire nervous system is optimized for prey it understands completely. Humans don't fit that pattern. We're unfamiliar. We move differently. We stand upright. We behave unpredictably. From a predator's perspective, we're an anomaly. And when predators encounter something unfamiliar, their first instinct isn't aggression, it's caution. Then there's the weapon humans discovered before everything else: fire. Almost every wild animal instinctively avoids it, not because they learned to, because evolution made them that way. Throughout history, animals that feared fire survived wildfires. Those that didn't were wiped out. That instinct passed down through countless generations. Even animals raised in captivity with no experience around flames instinctively avoid the smell of smoke. Humans learned to control fire somewhere between 1 and 2 million years ago. And from that moment forward, the campfire became far more than a source of warmth. It became a signal sent into the darkness. Something unusual is here. Something that controls flames. Stay away. For countless generations, predators responded to that signal the same way. They left. Now let's clear up one of the biggest misconceptions most people have about predators. Movies convinced us that apex predators attack anything they can overpower. Reality is very different. Large predators are extraordinarily cautious. Every decision comes down to one question: is the reward worth the risk? Unlike humans, wild animals don't get second chances. A lion can't survive with a broken leg. A wolf can't recover easily from a serious wound. A damaged eye or fractured bone can mean the difference between hunting and starvation. That's why predators avoid unnecessary conflict at all costs. Every hunt is a calculation: energy cost, probability of success, risk of injury, easier alternatives nearby. Now apply that calculation to a sleeping human. At first glance, it might look like the perfect opportunity. But from the predator's perspective, it isn't. Humans are unpredictable. A lion understands exactly how a zebra runs. It knows when it will panic, how it kicks, where it's vulnerable. Humans don't follow those rules. A sleeping person might suddenly wake up screaming. There could be weapons nearby. Other people could appear within seconds. What looks like one human could be an entire group. For a predator that depends on minimizing risk, that's a terrible gamble. Then there's our posture. Humans walk upright. That may seem ordinary to us, but in nature, it's strikingly unusual. Standing on two legs makes us appear taller. And in the animal kingdom, rising to full height is a threat display. Bears do it. Great apes do it. It signals dominance and danger. Humans look like that all the time. Even while resting, our silhouette doesn't resemble any natural prey, not deer, not antelope, not wild pigs. Nothing about our shape says easy target. It says unknown. And in the wild, unknown almost always means dangerous. Finally, there's something happening even while you think you're completely unconscious. Your brain never truly goes offline. Human sleep moves in cycles. Deep sleep, light sleep, REM sleep, when your brain becomes surprisingly active. And during those lighter stages, something remarkable happens. Your brain keeps listening. It processes sounds. It monitors the environment. It searches for anything unusual. Scientists call this the sentinel function of sleep. A twig snapping nearby, heavy footsteps, something moving through the brush, a sudden shift in the air. Any of these can bring you from deep sleep to full alertness faster than you'd expect. This wasn't an accident. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans who slept too deeply didn't survive the night. Those who woke quickly when danger approached lived long enough to have children. Generation after generation, evolution favored lighter, more responsive sleep. That's why human sleep cycles are shorter than most large mammals. Your body rests. But your brain never completely lets its guard down. It's quietly listening, waiting, ready. So when you think about it, the sleeping human isn't nearly as defenseless as they appear. Evolution built the fear into the predator. Chemistry built the confusion into the scent. Fire built a wall of instinct around the camp. And your own brain stayed. You were protected by millions of years of invisible engineering. The wilderness isn't as dangerous as the movies make it look. It's something far more interesting. It's a system. And somewhere inside that system, humans figured out exactly where they fit.